Come on. There we go. We are live. Hey guys. Normally I don't do videos on Sunday. I'm just getting off work, and I was able to go to church because I went with my parents to my home ward. So I missed all my friends at the singles ward, but that's okay because I got church. That's the important thing. I have missed it the past few weeks. There was 1 week where I was planning to go in the morning, but then a coworker called in and asked me if I could cover his shift, so I covered his shift as well as my shift. And then the week before that, I think I was just really tired in the morning, so I don't know. I decided not to go to morning church just because I was tired, which is my fault for not going to bed on time, but I also wanted to make sure that I'd be awake enough to be a good employee at work, because it's a job. And package. Oh, someone left a package of cherry lip balm. It's not filled, it's just the wrapper. Ugh. But, so yeah, what's the word? So, before I get to what I'm going to talk about, I just want to say I don't mind working Sunday. I prefer not to, or I really prefer not to work, if I work Sunday, not to miss my church time, but I don't mind it. It's kind of nice. Sundays aren't as busy during the week. No, they're not as busy as the weekdays. One moment, I need to get my flashlight out here so that I'm just put it on just to be safe. Whenever I cross the road, I turn on my flashlight. And, I could have gotten a ride home too, but I chose to walk because I wanted to talk to you guys. That's why I am doing this live, so that it gets uploaded soon. Let's just put there we go. Now I got both hands free to put on my Petzel Headlamp. Because, seriously, when you're crossing the road, you want to reach up there, and I don't have it on all the time, but I turn it on when I'm crossing the road to make sure I'm actually visible to people. There we go. And, if I haven't worn these glasses in another video before, yeah, I don't need glasses, but I just look good in them, and I keep the image. So, yeah, I wear them like a real person would wear glasses. I might talk about glasses in another video. But, so back to what I was saying. So I don't mind working Sundays. They're slower than the rest of the weekdays are. And then, they are relatively busy during holidays, But it's not bad. I think it's a Catholic church nearby. So we get a lot of Spanish people that come in and buy the Christian candles. The really tall white candles with the Lord's Prayer and the image of Jesus on them. Those nice candles. They buy those in cleaning supplies, and they're nice people. I've gotten to kind of sort of know some of the Spanish people. And I'm working to learn Spanish. So, there's that. But anyways, what I really wanted to talk about is kind of when people fall away and how it really makes me sad. First of all, I'm not perfect. There are some issues that I'm trying to work on, so all of my problems, they make me sad, but because they're kind of sort of serious problems. Like in the past, if you go watch my video about Green and when she died, my parakeet, I kind of mentioned this in there too, and so you can go check that out too. I don't say what it is, but if you really want to know more, you can find that out. But it's something on kind of the same level as smoking or doing drugs, although it's not. But it's on a level that makes me sad. There are other mistakes I have that don't make me sad. I'm not always being mean on myself. I used to be really mean on myself, but I'm not. But so I have these problems, and I do make myself kind of sad whenever I mess up again, but I keep on going. I'm not giving up. But lately I've actually been thinking more about myself, but I used to think a lot about other people. Probably a bit too much. Because, it used to be well, okay, I know that I'm not doing things exactly like I'm supposed to. I'm trying to. I do want to do better and repent, but to me that is not 100% important. For me, it was more of, okay, look, yeah, great. I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to do what's right, but I'm not. But don't think about me, God. I want you to think about my friends, okay? Think about them. I don't care if I don't make it into the highest kingdom of glory, which, for those of you who aren't a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, also known as Mormons, that we believe in things differently. Very basically, we believe in different degrees of glory depending on how good you were. So it's not just heaven or hell. But so for you guys, if you were me, you would say, I don't care, Lord, if I go to hell. I just want my friends to go to heaven. That's the way it kind of was. And then recently I've realized how much I don't think about myself as much as I should. So I've started paying a little more attention to myself, because it's I mean, we believe, and I'm sure a lot of you guys believe too, that you're supposed to kind of think of yourself kind of sort of before others. There is like being too selfish, but the big thing is you have to make sure that you're on track to get to heaven. If you're not, well then how can you help somebody else get to heaven? And that's probably another topic for another video, but because it's you kind of can't if you're in that state. But the thing that really just makes me sad is like friends falling away. And like for me growing up, I grew up inside of a Mormon bubble, and it was nice and it was wonderful. And then one day, some of the people that I knew, some of my friends who I thought were good and strong, and you know, they'll turn 18 and go on missions and be great Mormons, and they fell away. Like some of the, and even for some of the people that I wasn't super close with, like some of the people that I knew from the ward that I did things with once or twice and saw them at activities, we had fun then. Even those people, the people that I wasn't always going over to their house and playing with, it still made me really sad when, like, you know, oh, it's like, oh yeah, this guy, I know this guy, and oh, now he's smoking? Goodness. So it's a little bit worse for the people I was close with, but I mean, that's kind of what happens when you get close to people. And I love pretty much everybody, okay? Generalized term, you know, it details and particulars, but I love everybody like a brother. I wouldn't mind being friends with everybody, but there's some kind of issues with that, which I'll talk about in a bit. But it really makes me sad. It makes me sad to think that, like, I can remember a day where it's like, hey, have you heard of this song? Oh, what? Yeah, I have heard of that song, and it's a disgusting song. Why are you talking about it? No, I'm just mentioning it because I think the tune is cool. But yeah, I do agree that it is a dirty song. Okay, good, because, you know, that's a dirty song, and it talks about this, and yeah, I don't listen to that song. And then now, when I talk to that same person, they're like, that song? Whatever. It's fine. You can talk about that stuff if you want. I sometimes even do that stuff. It makes me sad. It's like, and for one of these people, I kind of know what happened. I'm not going to get into I'm not going to get into a lot of details of it. But basically, back then, I was actually reading some emails that their mom was sending out. But basically what happened is they had to move. I'm not going to say why, but they had to move. And so then when they moved, it kind of started out as, oh, the other kids in our church classes. They're talking about things behind teachers' back that are dirty and stuff like that. And I was like, oh wow, it's not the greatest place over there. They kind of moved outside of the Mormon bubble, which isn't all of Utah. They're still inside of Utah. They just moved up closer to Salt Lake City. Which, a little side note here, I kind of sort of have this idea or theory that I don't know if it's 100% true. I'm not saying it is, but my theory is that, like, there's kind of less Mormons up there in Salt Lake because the devil's trying to close in on our headquarters, which is up in Salt Lake City, Temple Square. That's the headquarters of our church. So I think that there's probably less Mormons and a little bit more of Satan up there because of that. But so anyways, my friends, because Satan's trying to close us down, which he's not going to, but he's trying. So, so yeah, my friends, they kind of moved out there, and the other kids are talking about inappropriate things. And, you know, at first they kind of sort of didn't like it. And as I read in the emails, they're like, Mom, they're talking about these things and why. But then, as time went on, I think they just became too close of friends with these people, and it just wore them down. And now, those very same things that I read in that email, they were saying, oh, these kids are talking about bad things behind the teacher's back. And now they don't even believe about God anymore. And that really makes me sad inside. I just cry for all of them, like, because I know that when they die, well, it's not guaranteed. I don't know exactly how God is going to judge people. But we have, there we go. Just letting the car know that I was here. We have we have a basic idea of the rules and requirements to get into the various degrees of glory. So we can kind of see where somebody's going, although we don't specifically say it. Like, you know, you have to have real guts to tell somebody exactly where they're going based on the rules found in the scriptures. But so I'm not exactly sure where they're going because I don't know everything behind the story. But I have a somewhat idea of it. I can tell that they're not gonna have the same happiness that I'm gonna have. And no, it's not that I'm better than them, because if I could, I would trade places with them. I'm like I forget where this is in the Bible, but I'm like the guy in that story where, like, there was this peasant who was hungry, and he wanted to even just eat the scraps that fell down from the rich man's table. But the rich man wouldn't let him even eat the crumbs that fell off of his utensil. And so then, when they die, the rich man's down there burning in quote-unquote hell. And the poor man sees him down there and says, Lord, can I touch him with my finger and cool him down? And Lord says, I'm sorry, but you can't, because he's gone there for his actions. That's his punishment. Excuse me. So I'm like the poor man. And I would love to switch places with the rich man. I mean, sure, it might not be happy for me in the end. And ultimately, I don't really want to end up where the rich man did. But it really, really makes me sad. And bottom line is, I'm not trying to judge anybody at all. I just want to still be friends with you. That's... Ooh. Here's a little bit of Christmas cheer. Brighten things up a bit. But yeah, it makes me sad. You guys can't see right now, but I'm crying. Especially when, I think of people close to me. I got really close to a guy who worked at the pizza place with me, because that was my first legitimate job. Was at a relatively fancy pizza place. I liked it. And oh man, this guy, if you're watching this, you know who you are. And I love you. You made several dirty comments all the time, and he wasn't mean. That was just kind of his mindset. It's like you need to go about life in this dirty way because it's kind of sort of the thing to do and it's totally fine, and you can, I'm not going to specify things. And then he read some weird stories out of the quote-unquote Bible, which is not our copy of the Bible. If you want to actually see what's in our Bible, friend, you have to, then I can actually get you a free app where you can read our copy. But, and he wasn't trying to be mean. He was just kind of asking questions, not because he was curious, but he asked the types of questions that you can't really fully answer because you don't know exactly the answer. And he said he was preparing me for a mission and whatnot and all of that. But he was nice, and I love you. And he's one of the people that I think about that just makes me cry because I don't think he's gonna have the same happiness that I'm gonna have when we die. And that reminds me, there's this thing that I don't think I've said it yet to somebody, but it's kind of a stance that I take. And I'm not trying to be mean with this, but basically the stance I have is, so this is my religion. Okay, this is the name of it. I'm a Mormon. Our full name is Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. If you want to know more, I am more than happy to tell you more about what we believe. If you want to actually join our church, I'll be very happy to help you join our church too. But if you're not interested in even just finding out a little more about it, that's okay. I still want to be your friend. I don't want to argue about it. The only way we're going to find out who's right is when we die. Again, I'm not trying to be mean by saying that, but at this point in the conversation, if you're not interested in finding out more and actually converting, and you think it should be the opposite, the only way that we're going to find out is when we die. You can't necessarily prove it on this earth. I mean, maybe something will happen that will change your opinion. I don't know your future. But, so that's kind of a stance that I take. I haven't yet said it to anybody, but that's kind of my stance. But I love everybody, and just thinking about him really makes me sad. I seriously would love to trade places if I could. It's like, I like to say, I don't know if it's going to exactly be this way, but I like to say that when I die, and I'm talking to God, I'm going to say, yep, look, I messed up. And here's the mistakes that I made. And I'm going to say that with a smile on my face. Sort of, hopefully. I'm going to say, this is probably not exactly this way, but I'll say that to him with a somewhat smile on my face. I'll say, I'm sorry I did it. Here's my apologies. And this is what happened. And I will be, if it's just me, I'll be okay with what I get. But it's when I'll then turn around and see all of my friends and people that aren't going to the same place, all the people that I knew and met, that's when I'll cry. Like I said earlier, I've had to really start thinking about myself. And seriously, I have. I've started saying little short prayers where I just pray for myself, and that's it. I don't put anybody else on the list. And I don't want to sound selfish like that, but I'm actually not in a position to really help other people with what I'm doing. Thankfully, I haven't been asked to give any priesthood blessings I think I was asked once to help pass the sacrament, and I had to turn that down because I'm not worthy to do that. But that's about it for the most part, you know. And then I also can't go to the temple, so people don't see me on the ward temple trips. So there's some things that I can't do. Thankfully, I haven't been asked by a lot of people, you know, can you give me a blessing or help with these other things? But it's really, really sad for me, and I really know that I can't, because, like, this was quite a while ago. I think I was still in my short relationship, relatively short, that I had with a friend for a while. And with that one, no hard feelings. I even filmed her special wedding ceremony, so literally no hard feelings there with that breakup. But during that time period was when I was over a ward prayer committee on the ward prayer. I was ward prayer co-chair in our ward, and it was my turn to pick somebody to give a thought and to give a prayer. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it's a Mormon thing we do. So singles wards do it. I don't think any family wards do it. But basically we get together as a singles ward, and this happens after church is done for the day and whatnot. It's like usually at 8 or whatnot. But, which reminds me, they're going to have it tonight, and I should go see my buddies. But we just get together, and someone gives a spiritual thought, and then we all take names down of people we think need to be prayed for, and then we pray for them. Oh, there's a doggy in the road now. Go home, buddy. Go home. He's not, like, chasing me or anything, so I'm not scared. But seriously, go home. You can go back to your owner. So, and it's just us praying for people we think need to pray for. Then a lot of times we'll have some sort of a snack. We also, a lot of times we'll have some sort of a snack. We also usually have like a get to know you question, and it's fun. But doing that, now I forgot where I was going because of that dog. I'm not mad at the dog though. Where was I going? This one I think is going to be a little more disjointed than usual because I haven't actively thought about what I'm going to say and rehearsed it in my mind. I mean, Let's Talk is kind of that. It's just me talking. But a lot of times I just take up the format that I used to do for all my videos, where I will spend a couple of weeks thinking the video over and over in my mind, and then no script. I just go off of what was in my head, which inevitably I forget stuff and ends up not so great, which is why I do scripts now. But what was it? So word prayer. Go pray for people. Going there. Now I forget where I was. Go back to sadness. People that make me sad when they fell away. I can't think of what I was saying. I wish I could go back and watch the stream. Oh, I have got low battery, so I'm going to have to finish talking about this later. I'm going to cut here and catch you guys later when I finish this.